What if one night, under the starry sky, the veil between Earth and eternity was about to tear apart, to whisper the fate of the world to a lone, unaware person? A long time ago, on the rugged, windswept shores of a lonely island called Patmos, there lived a man named John, a humble soul, weathered by the seas and steadfast in his faith. His days were simple, marked by the rhythm of waves and the quiet whispers of prayer, until one extraordinary moment changed everything. God himself reached down from the heavens, granting John a vision so vivid, so profound, that it pierced the veil of time to reveal the mysteries of the future. This was no ordinary dream, but a divine summons, a sacred calling to witness truths too vast for mortal eyes, yet entrusted to this solitary man. In the blink of an eye, John found himself swept beyond the earthly realm, transported to a celestial throne room of unimaginable splendor. It was a place where heaven's glory blazed in radiant light, where colors danced with a vibrancy unknown to the world below, shimmering in hues that seemed to sing of eternity. Towering around him were creatures unlike any he had ever seen, majestic, otherworldly, their presence pulsing with awe and reverence. The air thrummed with a holy stillness, and every corner of this divine sanctuary glowed with the weight of God's presence. Here, in this sacred space, John stood on the threshold of revelation, his heart pounding with wonder and fear, knowing he was about to behold the unfolding of heaven's plan. As John stood trembling in the radiant glow of the heavenly throne room, his eyes were drawn to the heart of this divine assembly, where a figure of unmatched majesty emerged. Jesus himself, the King of Kings, radiant with glory and power. His presence filled the vast chamber, a beacon of holiness that outshone the blazing lights and vibrant hues around him. He approached with a book in his hand, a mysterious book, ancient and terrifying, sealed tightly with 7 ominous seals. This was no ordinary tome. It held the very secrets of the future, the unfolding of God's eternal plan, locked away from all but the one deemed worthy. And worthy he was. Jesus alone possessed the authority to break those seals and lay bare the truths hidden within. The air grew heavy with anticipation, as if heaven itself held its breath. John's heart pounded, for he knew he was witnessing a moment of cosmic significance. One by one, he would break the 7 seals, each unveiling a chapter in the saga of the world's destiny. John, wide-eyed and breathless, with the first seals breaking. A thunderous hoofbeat echoed through the celestial expanse, and there, charging forth, was a rider on a magnificent white horse. His crown gleamed like a star plucked from the heavens, his bow taut with purpose, yet he wielded no arrows of war. This was Conquest, a figure of triumph, not through bloodshed, but through the radiant power of peace and truth. His eyes burned with a vision of a world united under the banner of light, his presence a clarion call to hope that surged through John's heart like a warm dawn after a long night. Yet as he rode, a shadow lingered. Not all hearts were ready to bow to his gentle reign. Some clung to darkness, their souls hardened against the truth he offered. John felt a pang of exhilaration tempered with tension, for this rider's journey was no simple victory. It was a cosmic struggle, a battle between light and shadow that played out in every human soul. The image of Conquest galloping forward undeterred filled John with a thrilling certainty. The fight for truth was fierce, but its promise was eternal. The second seal broke with a sound like the crack of a whip, and the throne room trembled as a fiery red horse stormed into view. Its rider, War, gripped a massive sword, its blade glinting with menace. His eyes blazed with chaos, his very presence a storm that tore peace from the earth. John's heart sank as he saw the rider's grim purpose, to set brother against brother, nation against nation. The air grew thick with the cries of conflict, as if the world itself groaned under the weight of division. Swords clashed, voices rose in anger, and harmony dissolved into a cacophony of strife. War's ride was relentless, his scarlet steed trampling the fragile bonds that held humanity together. John felt a raw, aching anguish grip him, a sorrow for the countless lives torn apart by hatred and pride. Yet, beneath the pain, a flicker of resolve stirred. Could humanity, in the face of such discord, find a way back to unity? War's shadow loomed large, but John clung to the hope that even in the darkest battles, seeds of reconciliation might yet be sown. When the third seal gave way, a somber hush fell, broken only by the slow, deliberate tread of a black horse. Its rider, Famine, held a pair of scales, his gaunt face etched with severity. The scales tipped and swayed, a stark symbol of scarcity that gripped the world below. John saw fields wither, granaries stand empty, and families gathered around tables with barely a crumb to share. The weight of hunger pressed down, each meal a precious treasure, each bite a reminder of want. Desperation clawed at John's heart, a heavy sorrow for those who suffered under famine's reign. Yet, in this bleak vision, a spark of humanity shone through. Neighbors shared their last loaves, strangers opened their doors, and kindness bloomed like a fragile flower in barren soil. Famine tested the generosity of the human spirit, and John felt a bittersweet pride well up inside him. The rider's dark journey revealed a profound truth. Even in the leanest times, acts of selflessness could light the way, binding hearts together in a quiet, defiant hope that refused to fade. Crackle! The fourth seal's breaking unleashed a chilling gust, and John's blood ran cold as a pale horse emerged, its ashen hue a harbinger of doom. Death rode this ghostly steed, his hollow eyes unyielding, with Hades trailing close behind, like a shadow that swallowed light. Together, they cast a pall over the earth, bringing sickness, scarcity, and sorrow in their wake. John saw cities shrouded in mourning, families torn apart, and the world cloaked in a heavy darkness. The air grew thick with the wails of the grieving, each loss a wound that seemed to pierce John's own soul. Grief overwhelmed him, a tidal wave of sadness for the fragility of life and the pain that death's cold hand inflicted. Yet in this bleak tableau, moments of tenderness flickered, hands clasped in comfort, tears shared in solidarity. Death's reign taught a stark lesson: to cherish every fleeting moment, to love fiercely in the face of loss. John's heart ached, but a quiet resolve took root, a determination to honor life's brevity with compassion that could outlast even the darkest shadow. With the fifth seal's release, the throne room shifted, and John's gaze fell upon a heart-wrenching sight beneath the altar. There, clad in robes of purest white, were souls who had given their lives for righteousness. Their voices rang out in a powerful chorus, crying out for justice. Their sacrifice is a blazing testament to their unwavering faith. John's heart was filled with respect for their courage, but also with grief and loss. These were the martyrs, those who stood firm against tyranny and falsehood, paying the ultimate price, yet shining as beacons of truth. Their white robes sparkle like a promise, an oath that their sacrifice will not be forgotten. The vision stirred in John a powerful longing for a world where justice would reign, where the brave would be exalted, and the right would triumph. The martyr's plea echoed in his soul, igniting a fire of hope that burned brighter than their pain. A hope that truth would one day shine victorious, its light unquenchable across the ages. The sixth seal shattered with a roar that shook the very foundations of heaven, and John staggered as the world below convulsed in chaos. Earthquakes ripped the ground asunder, the sun blackened like sackcloth, and the moon glowed an eerie blood red. Stars plummeted from the sky, streaking like tears across the heavens, and the earth groaned under the weight of its own brokenness. John's breath caught, his heart pounding with a mix of terror and awe at the sheer power of this cosmic upheaval. The vision was a stark warning, a mirror held up to a world in desperate need of renewal. Mountains crumbled, skies darkened, and humanity stood humbled before the might of divine judgment. Yet, amid the devastation, John sensed a call, a summons to reflection. to change, to rebuild what had been lost. The cataclysm was not an end, but a beginning, a chance to forge a better path. Awe gave way to determination in John's soul, a resolve to heed this divine wake-up call and rally others to mend a fractured world together. When the seventh seal broke, no sound followed, only a profound, sacred silence that enveloped the throne room like a holy embrace. John felt time itself pause, as if the universe held its breath in reverence. This was no mere quiet. It was a space for reflection, a moment to weigh all that had come before and brace for what lay ahead. His heart, so battered by the visions of conquest, war, famine, death, martyrdom, and cataclysm, now found solace in this stillness. It was a gift, a chance to gather strength, to ponder the lessons etched in each seal. Then, from the silence, 7 angels emerged, each clutching a trumpet, their solemn presence a signal that greater trials loomed on the horizon. John's spirit stirred with a quiet reverence, tempered by readiness. The silence was not an end, but a preparation, a sacred interlude that whispered of resilience and hope. Whatever challenges awaited, he felt fortified, anchored by the certainty that God's purpose would guide the way, urging all to face the future with courage and faith unshaken. As the visions of the 7 seals faded, John stood in the lingering glow of the throne room, his heart alight with the truth that transcended time. This was no mere glimpse into tomorrow. It was a divine symphony, a saga of resilience, unity, and unshakable faith in the good that endures. The tale of conquest, war, famine, death, the martyrs, cataclysm, and silence wove a tapestry of lessons, each thread pulsing with hope. It taught that even in the fiercest storms, the human spirit could rise, bound by compassion and courage, to seek the light that never fades. John's vision was a beacon, urging every soul to hold fast through trials, to stand together in love, and to trust in a future where justice and mercy reign. Its timeless call stirs us still, to cherish each moment, to fight for what's right, and to prepare our hearts for challenges yet to come. With every seal broken, hope shone brighter, a promise that no darkness could extinguish the divine spark within us all. So, let this vision ignite your soul. Rise up, embrace compassion, seek truth, and build a world where love prevails. We invite you to join this journey. Subscribe to our channel, share your thoughts, and follow along as we explore more stories that inspire and uplift. Together, let's carry this hope forward, lighting the way for generations to come, anchored in the certainty that the light of faith will always triumph.